the economics. What are the investment requirements? Where is your break-even point? When will you see a return on your investment, and how much will it be? How much profit do you need to make for it to be worthwhile? Now let's look at management capability. The venture and the entrepreneur have to be a good match. Let's say, for example, that you see that there's a real need for new software to meet the particular demands of computer users at a business you work for, but you have no real IT experience. Unless you plan on partnering up with someone who does have strong computer skills, you'll be in trouble. So does the venture require specific technical skills or a diverse set of skills in order for it to be successful? Now let's look at fatal flaws. Every aspect of the business plan should be researched to ensure there are no fatal flaws and no problems that exist that would prevent the business from succeeding. As many as 9 out of 10 businesses fail because entrepreneurs rush into starting a business without looking at which factors present huge or insurmountable stumbling blocks for them. For example, you may have had a great deal of experience as a bricklayer and you want to start a company building brick homes in Alaska. Before doing so, however, you would want to research it, because if you did, you might find out that bricks aren't made in Alaska and it would be so expensive to ship them up that you couldn't possibly make money at it. Before starting a business, there are a number of questions to ask yourself. For example, what are all the potential startup types to consider? What are some sources for new ideas? How can you identify a genuine opportunity that creates value for both the company and the company's owners? If you already have a good idea, how can it be refined? What can be done to increase the chances that the business will be successful? What competitive advantage does the business have over its rivals? There are 3 basic types of startup ideas. Type A ideas are those concerned with providing customers with a product or service that does not exist in a particular market, but that exists somewhere else. Type B ideas are those that involve new or relatively new technology. Type C ideas are those based on offering customers benefits from new and improved ways of performing old functions. Type C ideas account for the largest number of startups. So where do new startup ideas come from? The National Federation of Independent Business Foundations studied the origin of new product ideas and found that prior job experience accounted for the largest percentage of ideas, 45%. Even though a new idea can come from virtually anywhere, they come from 4 basic places: personal experience, hobbies, accidental discovery, and deliberate search. I hate to tell you this, but only about 6% of entrepreneurs come up with a great business idea from taking a college class. As I just stated, about 45% of new ideas are gained from previous experience. This is true of entrepreneur Max Ventilla. After gaining a great deal of experience in the IT industry as an employee at Google, Ventilla left Google to develop his own company, Aardvark. His experience at Google gave him the knowledge he needed to define a need that he saw his customers had. Then, after amassing $7.5 million in funding from investors, he started his own business. Here's a short interview from Business Week with Max Ventilla where he discusses how his business got started.
Hi, I'm Aaron Riccadella with Business Week, and I'm here in San Francisco with Max Ventilla. He's the CEO of Aardvark, and they are a company that's using an algorithmic approach to let you go poll your social network, your friends and your friends of friends, to find out interesting or relevant information.
Our feeling was that Aardvark should really be a contact. So we see ourselves filling the role of finding the right person in your network in the moment to connect you to, and letting you reach out to us through the communication channels that you already use, i.e. emailing us or SMSing us or IMing us, is just a much more natural thing than forcing you to go to a website where you would never go to a website to interact with one of your friends, so why would you go to a website to interact with us? Mm-hmm. We also felt like there are just so many different sites out there trying to grab people's attention, mm-hmm. and the bar is so high to become a new destination site that someone will go to on a regular basis, that it was just much easier for us to differentiate and gain traction by sort of sitting in your IM buddy list than trying to be something that you type into your address bar on the browser.
Tell me why you decided to start this company now. Number one, pretty tough environment, and number two, you're working at Google. That sounds like a pretty good gig. Why did you decide to leave and go do this?
So Google was a fantastic gig, and really the main reason for leaving was just, you have a few people in your life that you'll quit your job to start a company with, and for me that was our CTO, and he was finishing a PhD, and he wasn't going to be around much longer to do something. But more, we really felt that there was a huge opportunity in tapping all of these APIs that web applications were providing to make their data and functionality available to third-party services. So Facebook Connect and OpenSocial are probably the most prominent, but you're seeing a huge number of sites, whether Amazon or Netflix or even fairly small web destinations, allowing people to build functionality on top of them. And we said, hey, in the same way that search engines came along in the late 90s and really provided a layer of utility by tapping into all the content that people had put out there and made available to search engines through indexing, we could do something similar with all of that data and functionality, where what we're literally doing is using the information that web applications provide to index the people that you're connected to. So we know from someone's Facebook profile or Twitter feed, what someone is doing in the moment and what they're interested in, and we can use that to know that they're the right person to connect you to when you have a question about some topic.